I felt heartbroken and disappointed when I cancelled my party. Yeah, I was so excited to host a get together with my friends and dance and eat and celebrate because I thought 30. Though we did an impromptu one, which was like my friend making food for me for my birthday, Jidu. I love her so much. She's such a sweetheart. And we had fun that day. But I actually wanted to host all my friends and I couldn't and cancelled it last minute. I felt so very disappointed about it. Anyway, that inspired it didn't really inspire this episode, but I felt like that was like the best point of view to even share how to get through disappointment. I've dealt with a lot of them this year, and you know what? I'm so proud of myself because it's like everything I practiced while I was going through depression. At some point in my life, I was so scared I was going to forget them, but I didn't. And I'm going to be sharing these things that I do and talking about disappointment, that feeling, and maybe how to get through it. Yeah. I'm so pained. I couldn't host my party. I'm so pained. Like, can't at some point I told my friend that you know what? See, I get it. Yeah. I get that sometimes we have to be a little extra patient. But it can get so annoying if you repeatedly have to keep changing plans and you can't do things when you want to do them. Another person told me that oh there'll be more celebrations. I know. And I agree. But damn. How do we get through disappointment? I think I dealt with a lot of disappointment, especially choosing the path I chose. Freelancing. Oh, clients will delay your payment. You'll be expecting maybe your pay to come in at this certain time and excuse and then radio silence. And some of them will disappear. Some of them will never hear from again. And your heart is broken. And you have to sit with that feeling. And like there's so many things. Maybe you were planning to do something, but then life has other plans for you. The my whole point of even wanting to talk about it is that yes, life is happening to everybody, which is actually the truth. But damn, it doesn't erase the feeling. I'm telling you, no matter how even self-aware that I say I am, even like monks talk about this too, how they are still human. Human meaning that regardless of how you think you are in tune with your emotions, you will still feel it. And I think that's a part of us having feelings and having emotions. We still have to feel our feelings. So in that moment, I was feeling disappointed. My friend was like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll do your." Abi, you said you wanted to do end of the year party. I'm like, you know what? Don't ask me now. I'm not in the mood. Ask me later. It's true because I'm feeling my feelings. And I one thing I really appreciate about myself, yeah, is that I can feel my feelings. And do you know why I like to give myself? I give myself credit for things now. It's a practice that I started doing a while ago, and I do self praises. I do that a lot, and I do that because given the environment we all grew up in, we tend to learn to numb instead of to feel feelings or to express how we feel. And I told myself that, see, I feel so disappointed. Now, I hope you recognize the language or the way I say things. I didn't say I am disappointed. I said I feel. The reason why I like to be very intentional with how I speak and how I say things is words are spellings, and that's what I believe. What you say, you see the way they have mantras, they have prayers in certain religions, they tell you the power of the tongue. But when they say power of tongue, I don't think they explain um realistically what that means, yeah, and I'm going to try to explain it to you. And they say most of the times I've heard power of the tongue back then, they made it some spiritual thing that angel is passing whatever I say, blah blah blah. No, the reality or the realistic part of it is whatever you say you become, which is what the You will hear it if you're someone that listens to monks, listen to all these people talk about stuff. They say it. What you say, you become. Why? Because each time, like, and this, I think it was it Bruce Lee that had a quote like that, that don't ever say negative things about yourself, even as a joke, because you are listening. Your subconscious, you are listening, you are taking notes, you are that's going into your memory. So this is why they even have affirmations and mantras. People think that this is just supposed to cure whatever it is. Maybe if you've been a pessimistic person all your life, all of a sudden it's going to switch. No, it's going to take practice. For example, for years I was very pessimistic, and if you're someone like you're a negative, in quote, negative person, you're a pessimistic person, or someone that has a pessimistic view towards life, I prefer to use that word, you can't one day wake up and switch. It doesn't work like that. You have practiced being pessimistic for years. Now you would have to practice to rewire that behavioral pattern or thought process you have created. And I'm not saying that maybe being pessimistic is like, I don't even want, I'm looking for the word to classify it. I'm not saying it is ridiculous or no. No, there's a reason why you became pessimistic, due to maybe things happening in your primary environment, due to um the like things happening in your life that can push people to become who they are, especially when they are not, sorry, excuse me, especially when they are not self-aware enough to separate their themselves, like not make certain things about themselves. So explaining now, when they talk about um words as spellings, if you are someone that has ever practiced affirmations, mantras, I you get to the point where your subconscious starts to tell you. I remember when I told my friend something, that before I will introduce my kids, because hopefully I hope to have kids in the future, I would like for them to know what's going on in their head, because I feel like we don't know that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are made up of our beliefs and memories, things like that. We are always taking notes from our lived experiences. And with that, certain things can happen and you start thinking a certain way, and you think that's, oh, since I'm thinking it, that's 100% correct. But no, there is you, there is reality, and there is maybe your biases, your beliefs, and all of that. So, using the example of someone that has been pessimistic of their life, because I was once like that, I used to think the worst out of everything. I used to think the negative things out of almost everything. But I switched that. I am my own best friend now. People say that sometimes you can be your own best friend or your own worst enemy. No one is a greater enemy to you than yourself. So, having to practice kindness towards myself, that's where it started from. When I was going through depression, I kept telling myself that I am enough, I am enough. Be kind to yourself, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself was the first mantra or affirmation or words, whatever you want to say, call it. Those were the things I practiced for years. Be kind to yourself. And I started to practice that kindness towards myself. I stopped saying mean things to myself. I stopped ruminating on the mistakes I have made. We learn from our environments to be harsh, mean, and unkind to ourselves, thinking that that's what discipline is or that's what holding yourself accountable is. No, it is not. So, it takes practice to shift out of this. Now, when we look at disappointment, when it happens, we are the ones feeling disappointed, maybe because we have expectations. One day I'm going to talk about expectations. We have expectations that we want like to be met. For example, I really wanted to have a party in my house just because I want to celebrate. I'm somebody that I love my birthday. I love to celebrate. I love to get friends together to cook for them, eat, we have a good time and chat. That's what I really wanted. And then when that didn't happen, it kind of like broke my heart because I was really looking forward to it. But life happens. After feeling my feelings, sometimes you will cry. That's the honest truth. You will cry because a lot of the things that we do or have in our life carries a lot of emotions. A lot of people are not in tune with their emotions. They don't like the idea of ever being associated with emotions or being emotional. I'm not that person, but we'll come to that another episode. So after feeling your feelings and all of that, on all of that, I just realized that, you know what, it's fine. I did the best that I could. It didn't happen, but I'm glad that I even had the intention, the enthusiasm, the excitement to create the flyer and send a private invite to everyone. I was so grateful that everybody overwhelmed me with love on my birthday. I will celebrate with them definitely. And I just counted my blessings in that moment. I just counted all the, when I say blessings, I refer to all the beautiful things that are in my life are that already fill me with joy. For that is what it means to me. So in that moment, I'm like, you know what, I'm here. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. I've had a tough year and I'm still here. So I remember my friend calling. My friend was like, "Hell no!" He already told his brother about it that he wanted to come. I'm like, "Oh, sorry." So he called me, and then we were talking. He was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm okay." I said, "How are you?" I said, I feel disappointed, but I'm okay." I feel disappointed that it couldn't happen, and that's me speaking honestly about how I felt, being open to accepting that I felt disappointed about it not coming true. Like I felt sad. But I said, I'm okay. I'm good. And he's like a very tough person. I'm like, yes, I am. I am. I know that I am. I accept it. I'm a tough person. Not because that I can I'm a wall of hit me with the life, hit me with the hardest that you got. No. It's more like I would always find the silver lining, the the enoughness wherever I find myself. So that's how I deal with feelings, especially disappointments. I'll say there are other practices you can try. For me, the ultimate one is feeling my feelings and being okay to speaking up about it if you have people that you feel safe enough to talk to. I would say that, yeah, acknowledge, even not even to others, to yourself, that I feel this way and I'm sad. I feel sad. Feeling it is letting it go because other things can other feelings can come up too. So first I'll say yes, feel your feelings. If you're someone that you're just starting, so if you're someone who is new to self-development, personal development, self-improvement, whatever you want to call it, there are several practices you can do. You can write in your journal about how you're actually feeling. I think that helps you let it out. So if you can't speak, like there's nobody for you to talk to, I talk to myself sometimes. There's nobody for you to talk to. If you feel weird talking about it out loud, put it in your journal, write a letter to yourself about how you truly feel. That helps you offload what's going on inside, and it helps you don't ruminate about something. You know, when you ruminate about something, it makes you angrier, it makes you feel the heavier emotions more. But I am team feel your feelings and let it go. So, these few things I have mentioned, I hope it helps. And one thing I want to state is that you know that or learn to decenter yourself from life happening. It's not about you. You're not special, and I don't mean it in a weird way. Like you're insignificantly significant. Meaning what you're feeling, that disappointment, every other person has felt it. But that shouldn't determine what you do next or change the course of your life or direction. No. Pull yourself out of that feeling. Feel it and let it go. Count your blessings like the kind of blessings I count. Count the beautiful things that are already going well in your life. You're alive, you're able to breathe, you're smiling, you're able to eat. Recognize all those things in your life. It helps. Yeah. So there's so many practices to do. That feeling of disappointment, it's not about you. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of beautiful things happening in your life. Just like me, because I couldn't host a party for myself in my house, doesn't mean that I can't host other parties or I can't do other things in my life. Sometimes these things are redirection, truly. And it's fine that it didn't happen. I felt less pressured because even when I was trying to host the party, I felt pressure because I wanted it to be so good, so perfect, blah blah blah. And I got to the point I'm like, Cindy, people don't need this. Like they don't need this perfect outing. If they are coming here, it's because they are coming to experience you, be a part of your celebration. Yeah. So that feeling of disappointment, don't make it about you. Let it go and stay open to life. See, the uncertainty of life scares me and excites me at the same time. I think I'll be weird if it only excites me. It's scary because it's like you can't tell what's going to happen next, what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. So I always have to like stay open to life. Don't use that disappointment or don't create judgment for yourself or anything based on that feeling or that moment you felt disappointed or that particular thing that made you feel disappointed. Yeah? No judgment. Feel your feelings. Let it go. I think this is the act of moving on, actually. This is what moving on feels like. Feeling your feelings is not just to keep ruminating on what had happened, but also to learn and practice letting it go, not making it about you. So I know I was talking about disappointment in this video, or in the I know I was talking about disappointment in this podcast, but I think this applies to a lot of things. All those emotions that make that heavy, anger, shame. We're going to talk about them. But thank you for spending time with Rella. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope I was able to help you through whatever it is that made you feel disappointed this week, this year, last 2 years, whatever disappointing feeling you're still carrying. I hope this helps you let go and stay open to life. See you in the next episode.